Hello, this is Key.
And I'm Wolf Peters.
And this is the Key and Wolf Adventures. And we're back on our channel with our second video. We also did an introduction video, so if you haven't seen that, go watch it. We're doing drafts of different topics. So this one today is going to be about Disney villain and Disney sidekick / characters that are supporting the main character in Disney movies.
Kind of sidekick / minor characters.
Yeah.
Supporting characters, if you want to be better. Description of it.
So the first one we're going to start with villains. So my first villain out of 5 is Ursula. I was really obsessed with The Little Mermaid as a kid, and I watched it so much on VCR that the VCR had the black lines because I'd seen it so much. She's kind of a really cool character because I like the outfit that she wears, and she looks like an octopus human thing, which is kind of cool. But my favorite character from there was The Little Mermaid, of course, and I was obsessed as her and pretended when I was in the pool to be like the Little Mermaid and stuff. And I even had a Little Mermaid stuffed animal one time that I had for years, and then I got rid of it, so that was cool. And Sam's first one is...
And my number one, and since we're counting other studios that Disney acquire, and this one, usually I don't, but we're doing it for this one. I'm taking Syndrome as my number one. Such a great villain. He was a one-time villain too, but he's such a great villain. He was the best villain that The Incredibles faced and everything. He was trying to be manipulative and everything, trying to give everybody a superpower and trying to kill off the supers like that, and use the armor droid to, make him feel like he's a superhero and everything like that, and to like make people buy stuff and everything, so they could be superheroes. So nobody's a superhero basically. It was a fun manipulative thing, and his death was like interesting and everything. It was just like it was just like interesting. Like he just boomed and like, oh wow, he's gone and everything. But yeah. Syndrome is a great villain. He's one of my favorite villains of all time of Disney.
My second favorite is Maleficent. And I like Maleficent because she's got really cool wings and she can fly. And I wish I could fly like her and go up in the sky and fly. And I also like the fact that Angelina Jolie in the live action 2, Maleficent 1 and 2, that she basically played a really good job playing Maleficent. And she's an actress that can play a really good bad person and a good person at the same time. And she can play both sides really well. She's versatile there. And so she made a fantastic Maleficent, in my opinion. And so that's why I put Maleficent at number 2. And Sam's number 2.
My number 2 is Jafar. I really like Jafar. And I like actually anything about Aladdin I like. It's probably my top 5 movie of all time. Not the animated one. We gotta get specific. It's the animated one back in the 90s. It's a top 5 movie of all time for me. Not just Disney movies. It's a top 5 movie of all time. He's a great villain and everything, and he's very manipulative too, but in a different way with his scepter. He uses his scepter to like manipulate people and everything. And then one of my favorite scenes is when he got hold of the genie lamp and turned into a snake. That was a great scene and everything. And I understand why I kind of understand why he wanted to do it and everything, but it's just like, but yeah, he's a great villain and I like him a lot.
My third favorite villain, I would have to say, is Hook from the Hook movies. I love Hook. I went to the Alley Theater in Houston and saw like a play of Peter Pan, and they did a really good job. And I did it for a theater class in high school because we had to go see a couple of plays and write a paper on like 4 plays, I think. 4 or 5 plays throughout the whole year. So we went and saw a bunch of plays and wrote a paper on it. But I like it because Robin Williams was in Hook. And I like the pirate outfit that the guy wears. I also like the hook arm that he got from the alligator. I thought the hook arm was pretty cool. And he used that in battle. And he was a good swordsman. And I wish someday that I could be a pirate. And Sam's number 3 is...
My number 3 is Heffalumps and Woozles from the many adventures of Winnie the Pooh, or just Winnie the Pooh in general. They're not technically villains because they don't do evil stuff and everything. It's just that Winnie the Pooh, Tigger, Piglet, all of them think they're evil because of the stories they heard and everything and all of that. So that's why they're kind of villains, but they're not really villains. But they're nice and everything. It's because they think that they eat creatures and everything like that. But yeah, this one Piglet is scared too about anything too. But anyway, yeah, I mean it might be a throwaway pick, you may think, but I don't think it is. I kind of like them as a character because once you get to know the character and everything, and later iterations of Winnie the Pooh and everything, they're actually pretty nice and everything.
My number 4 is Queen of Hearts from Alice in Wonderland. I really like the Queen of Hearts. And my thing is, in my family, we love to play cards. So anytime we get to play cards is great. And so I like playing the game of Hearts. And we have it for the Switch too, so you can play Hearts on the Switch. But I really like the Queen of Hearts, and the way that they did her character looked really cool. And it was out of the ordinary, and it was something different. And I really liked that it was a different villain. And that she was in a maze or whatever, and she had like these flowers that she had them paint and everything a certain color, like red, like her, because she liked the color red and everything. And she was just a cool character, and that's why I liked her. And Sam's number 4.
My number 4, like once again, they're not really evil. They just they lost their kid. So that's why they were invading Earth and everything. It is the aliens from Chicken Little. They're not really evil per se. They were just so upset that they lost their kid and everything. And so the only thing was to get the full fleet to like help them find their kid and everything. So that's why everybody in town thought that they were evil and everything. They were evil and trying to like invade Earth and everything because they were doing that, but not for the reasons they thought they were. But yeah, the aliens from Chicken Little, underrated villain. I like them a lot.
And my number 5, my last and final one at number 5 is Shere Khan from the Jungle Book. I really like tigers. I think tigers are kind of cool. But I really like the villain in that one because he did a good job like moving around and climbing up trees. And I wish I could climb up trees like a tiger and get really high up in the trees and stuff. And he used that to his advantage to try to help him get the main character by climbing up trees and moving around in the branches and stuff. And so I think he was a cool number 5 villain for me. And Sam's number 5.
And my number 5 is another underrated movie. Chicken Little I think is underrated. Forgot to say that in my last one. It's from Meet the Robinsons, Bowler Hat Guy. Once again, not really evil and everything, but he does evil stuff because he is mad about to his roommate and everything, and then he's just mad that he grew up to be this great inventor and everything, and that's why he's trying to do all this evil stuff. But he's not really evil and everything. He's just doing it because for revenge stuff and everything, trying to get revenge and trying to trying to be the inventor and stuff like that. But yeah, that's my number 5.
And if you haven't seen the Jungle Book live action from 2016, that was a good movie too. And there is a scene in there where there is a bell in there, like a cowbell or whatever, and Christopher Walken was the orangutan. My favorite song is I Want to Be Like You from the Jungle Book. And the reason why the cowbell's in there is because the guy who played the orangutan did a skit that says we need more cowbell on SNL back in the day. And so that's where that comes in. But those are our number 5 villains. Now we're going to go on to our top 5 sidekicks.
Supporting characters. Let's just say supporting characters.
So my number 1 is the genie. I love Robin Williams as the genie. He's my favorite person to play the genie. I didn't really like Will Smith's version of the genie. I thought it was okay. He's more of like a rapper, hip-hop kind of guy, and I didn't like it. I felt like Robin Williams was more like pop and more upbeat and more enthusiastic, and I like the way he portrayed the character because he made the character goofy, fun, and just a wonderful character for everybody to enjoy, and everybody of all ages will enjoy Robin Williams as the genie. So that's my number 1.
Oh man, she took mine. Like, that was my number 1. Like, out of all the supporting characters in Disney, that's your number 1. It's the genie. Like, it should be everybody's number 1. I know I could get this later in the draft too, but my number 1 is Timon and Pumbaa. I like them a lot, and I just like their antics and their songs and everything about them. I like how they were like the main focus in 1.5, Lion King 1.5, if you haven't seen it. It's a offshoot of the first movie, Lion King, but in Timon and Pumbaa's perspective and everything. I like watching it from their perspective and everything. So technically they're the main characters in that one, but from the original one they're not, so that's why they're on this list for me and everything. But that movie was just so good. I like that one a lot, to see it from their perspective and everything, see how they met and what happened and everything like that. And they're so fun to watch, so they're my number one.
And if you didn't know, I'm on a Disney shirt because we're on a Disney theme, so we're on our Disney shirts today.
You see my Disney squad and my Disney hat?
My number 2 is Mushu from the Mulan movies. I stinking love Eddie Murphy as Mushu. He basically killed it. He was funny, he was great, he was goofy, he was everything I liked in a character. And he always did silly and dumb stuff and always got himself in trouble. But at the end, he did something heroic and killed the bad guy with a bunch of fireworks and thought outside the box. So I thought that was kind of cool. And he always traveled with the main character, and I loved him so much. And I liked the live action Mulan 2 that they did a few years ago. I thought that was a good telling of Mulan. But every time Mulan comes on TV now, the Disney one, from the 90s, I have to watch it. Because it's one of my top Disney movies of all time.
And my number one, and this not my number one, my number 2, this may shock you and everything, and I think this made the movie, Olaf from Frozen. The only good thing that came out of Frozen was Olaf the snowman. He's funny, he's cute, he's like goofy, and everything that I like by a supporting character and everything. And yes, I don't like Frozen. He's the best thing of Frozen, and anything that he's in, I will watch besides Frozen 2. Of course, like all the side stuff that's about him and everything, I will watch because he is great. The only good thing about Frozen, and he's my number 2.
My number 3 is Sebastian from The Little Mermaid. I've always liked Sebastian, and he was a good sidekick. He was always kind of funny, and he did what the king wanted him to do, and he went around and spied and kind of like watched and made sure that Ariel was doing good and everything, and he always did funny stuff and goofy stuff, but he always had a good heart and everything, and he was always like a kind crab, and he was one of my favorite characters, and besides the bad guy in The Little Mermaid, he was one of my other favorite characters. And
my number 3 is Zazu. Picking back off what she said about Sebastian, I'm going to go with another one, Zazu from The Lion King. He was also similar to Sebastian and Little Mermaid, where he was the king's, because Mufasa was the king of the Pride Lands and everything. So he was also a spy, kind of the king's like right hand man or accountant or however you say it. He goes spy on Simba and see how well he does and everything. And I just like Zazu a lot. I mean, Simba doesn't like Zazu, but doesn't like Zazu because he thinks it's annoying. But I like Zazu. He's funny. He's funny. He's everything. He also has a great song when he gets captured by Scar. It was I love a bunch of little, but I'm not gonna finish it because. Not saying that that's going to happen, but it might be copyright or whatever. But it was a great song, and he's just fun and everything.
My number 4 is Tinkerbell. I really like Tinkerbell from Peter Pan. She's one of those that can fly around and just fly. And she goes with Peter Pan wherever he goes. So wherever he goes, she follows him and stuff. And she always goes on his adventures with him and stuff. And she also has like some side movies about like herself and about like her town that are just really enjoyable and great. And I like the outfit that she wears, basically, because one year to the Renaissance, I went as Tinkerbell one year for the Renaissance, and I bought a Tinkerbell outfit, and that's what I went one year as a fairy. So I went as Tinkerbell, and it was just really fun. And I wish I could fly like Tinkerbell, so that's why that's my number 4.
My number 4 is Baloo from The Jungle Book. My favorite character from The Jungle Book is Baloo. And in this song about the bare necessities and everything, that's a great song. And then him on the river, and then Mowgli on him. He's just a big fuzzy teddy bear that you want to hug and everything. And that's basically what he is. He's fun and everything. He's my number 4. There's nothing more else I have to say. He's my number 4. And I haven't seen the live action Jungle Book, so I don't know if he's in there or not or whatever. But But in the animated one, he was great. In the first two ones, the Jungle Book and Jungle Book 2.
My number 5 is Pascal from Tangled, and he is a chameleon. And I like the chameleon from Tangled.
Okay.
I like that he can change color. And sometimes I wish too that I could camouflage and blend in with my surroundings and stuff, and that would be kind of cool. And he's just a fun one. He likes to stick his tongue out, and he likes to mess with the main character that comes to get Rapunzel. He likes to mess with Finn, and so it's being funny with Flynn, and they were kind of being goofy, and so I kind of like him, and he was just a cool, fun character throughout Tangled that I really liked. And Sam's final number 5.
And my number 5, and I'm thinking, I can't really think. I mean, I guess I don't know. I don't think he counts as a side character. Does PJ from a Goofy movie and the Goof Troops and all that? Does he really count as a side character to Max? Would you count that, Rebecca?
Yes, I would.
Okay, so PJ from the Goofy movie, Extremely Goofy movie, and the Goof Troops. Not saying like he wasn't a prominent character, but he was like I guess you kind of say he's a major minor character, kind of. I mean, he was in there a lot and everything, but he was more of the side character to Max. Max was the main focus of the movies and everything, but he was more of a side character, and I like him a lot. He doesn't want to do everything. He doesn't want to do what Max wants to do, but in the end, he's like Max is my friend. I have to go through with it, or I may disappoint him and everything. But I like him a lot. He's my number 5. There might have been other ones I could think of on my list, but I just couldn't think one, and those are the ones that came on the top of my head and everything, and the list that we had too. So I'm satisfied with my list. What about you? Are you satisfied with your list?
Yeah, and just a side note, my top 3 favorite Disney movies of all time is The Little Mermaid, Mulan, and Cinderella. Those are my top 3. I watched them so many times, and they were good in their own different ways. And those are my top 3 favorite Disney movies of all time.
And we're definitely going to make a list of if not top 10, at least top 5 Disney movies, and top 5 this and top 10. If we can do top 10, great. If not, then do top 5 and all that stuff too. That's going to be so much fun too.
And I want to do something fun for 4th of July, so I was thinking maybe we could find some 4th of July Mad Libs and do some 4th of July 4th of July Mad Libs and do something special for 4th of July, since 4th of July is coming up on Tuesday. And I would like to do something special for 4th of July, so stay tuned for that.
We do that.
Since we're going to be getting together on 4th of July, I'd like to do something for that.
And who knows, we may do a top 5 like war movies too, or stuff about USA, patriotic or whatever. If you want to do that too, Rebecca.
Yeah, that would definitely be a good one. So we can do our top 5 patriotic or basically 5 war movies, and we can also do those and then do 5 to 10 maybe and talk about those.
Let's do 5. I think 5 would be
5
good.
would be good.
And
so
then,
let's do 5.
And it could be fictional, it could be real because of one movie. You find out what movie that is when we get there.
Yeah, so and we'll also do some Mad Libs too.
Yeah,
for 4th of
that's
July,
gonna be our next video.
So it'll be a combination of 5 war and film movies, and then we'll do a separate one for Mad Libs and upload those. So we'll have 2 videos for 4th of July.
That may not be our direct next video, but that would be at least the one after the next video if we do one more video.
Yeah.
Before then.
So stay tuned and hope you enjoyed this video. And if you like, you can click and like and subscribe to our channel. And thanks so much, and bye. Peace.
Peace.